You can grieve a life that never happened. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you 3 steps to honor what you lost, no longer pay emotionally for a future that will not materialize, and make room for the future that God still has for you. Not all grief begins or ends with a funeral. Sometimes you are grieving a marriage you thought would last, a child you hoped to have, a career you trained for but never entered, a friendship you believed you would grow old with, a version of your family that never became healthy or safe, an apology you waited years to receive but never actually obtained, a dream you were certain would have happened by now, but for some reason or another it just hasn't materialized. This kind of grief is difficult because there is no obituary, no funeral, no flowers, no sympathy cards, and no public permission to actually mourn. Strong when people look at your life and say, you still have so much to be grateful for. And the reality of the situation is that may be true. But gratitude does not cancel grief. You can thank God for what remains and still ache and be in pain over what never arrived. You can appreciate the life you have while grieving the life you honestly believed you would have by now. These 2 truths can exist in the very same heart. Welcome to the Reset Room, where strong people learn to let go. I'm K.O. Davenport. And today we are talking about one of the heaviest forms of invisible grief. The grief of dreams and hopes that will no longer happen. When my father died, he was only 46 years old. I was 21 at the time. And I did not only grieve the man I had lost, I grieved the future his presence represented. I grieved the conversations we would never have, the questions I would never get to ask, the milestones he would not be present to witness, the wisdom I assumed I would receive when I became older. I grieved the version of adulthood I thought would include my daddy. We do not only grieve people, we also grieve the future we believed their presence would help us create. And sometimes the deepest pain is not only about what ended, it's about everything that will now never begin. You may not be grieving a death today, but you may be grieving a future that died quietly, a relationship that ended and the holidays you imagined disappeared with it, a career door that closed and the identity you built around the opportunity began to wither away. Your life took a direction you did not expect, and now you are trying to determine who you are without the future you rehearsed in your mind. Strong when this grief is real. And until it is appropriately acknowledged, it can quietly control the way you live. Sometimes the invisible weight you are carrying is not the past itself. It is the future you keep trying to force the past to produce. You keep hoping the person will become who they promised to be. You keep waiting for the organization to recognize everything you sacrificed. You keep believing that if you work a little harder, pray a little longer, remain a little bit more patient, or give a person or organization one more chance, the old dream will finally come to fruition. You keep revisiting the same door because you built so much of your identity around what was supposed to be waiting behind it. The pain is not only that the dream did not happen. The pain is that letting go feels like admitting that you were foolish to even hope. I remember on more than one occasion giving individuals an opportunity after they had thoroughly disappointed me in the past. The first few times I was upset with them. The last time I was upset with myself. I remember angrily sharing with my mother that I felt so stupid for trusting this person again, that my sense of loyalty was consistently being taken advantage of. But here is what I learned. Hope and belief were not the mistake. For hope helped me love, helped me build, hope helped me pray, hope helped me endure seasons when I had very little evidence that anything would change. The dream that I had may have been sincere. The relationships may have been meaningful. The plan may have been wise for the version of me who originally made it. But releasing the dream does not require you to humiliate your former self. It means honoring the truth your present self can finally see. You were not foolish for hoping then. Whether you were hoping for a relationship that would eventually turn around, a ministry that would appreciate your sacrifice, a promotion that seems to always evade you at the career or the job that you're currently on, hoping only becomes a problem when you consistently refuse to own and recognize the reality that God may be trying to move you to something different. Imagine purchasing furniture for a house that was supposed to be built. You selected the table, the chairs, the curtains, the colors. You imagine holidays in that house. You picture conversations around the dinner table. You could already see the life you were going to live in that dream house that was being built. Then all of a sudden, the construction stopped. At first you waited. Then you called the builder to find out what was going on. Then you prayed and asked God to turn things around. Then you blamed yourself. You convinced yourself that construction would resume if you remained patient. So you kept paying for a storage unit filled with furniture for a house that was no longer being built. Month after month, year after year, you kept paying because getting rid of the furniture felt like giving up on your dream house. But eventually the storage fees began costing you the ability to furnish the life that you actually had. This is what some of us are doing emotionally. We are continuing to pay for what is no longer being built. We pay with our attention. We pay with regret. We pay with compassion. We pay with resentment. We pay by remaining emotionally attached to unavailable people and situations. We pay by overlooking present opportunities because they do not resemble the future we had originally asked God for. We pay by refusing to furnish the life God has placed in front of us because we are still protecting the life we had imagined in our minds.